Global War 36 enthusiast here, filling in for Boston Bruce in Operation Regimental Combat Team, turn 13.8 KMT. KMT has 6 IPP to spend. They will purchase nothing. They have no combat movement or non-combat movement. They receive 3 at the end of the turn, and they have 9 in the bank. 13.9 USA. It is July 1942. USA has 7 tech rolls. First, I tried for radar at a 7 or higher. PB generated a 5, so I failed. Second, I tried for improved factories at a 7 or higher. PBE generated a 4, so I failed. Third, I tried for airborne doctrine at a 7 or higher. PBE generated a 7, so I succeeded and advanced to stage 3. Fourth, I tried for advanced submarines at an 8 or higher. PBE generated a 1, so I failed. Fifth, I tried for improved logistics at an 8 or higher. PBE generated a 6, so I failed. Sixth, I tried for heavy strategic bombers at a 9 or higher. PBE generated a 9. PBE generated a 6, so I failed. And seventh, I tried for strategic rockets at a 9 or higher. PBE generated an 11, so I succeed and advance to, or I complete that tech. So I PBF'd my friend Boston Bruce. Sorry about that, Bruce. You got really lucky last turn, and then Lady Luck turned her back on you. Okay. I think it was last turn that you were really lucky. USA has 77 IPP to spend. I will purchase 1 militia for 2, 1 infantry for 3, that's 5, 1 advanced artillery for 4, that's 9, 1 fighter for 10, that's 19, 2 stages of battleship for 10, that's 29, 1 stage of heavy fleet carrier at 5, that's 34, and then 6 stages of heavy battleship for 6 each, so that's 36, so that brings me to 70. And then 1 minor factory for 7. That brings me to 77. All right, combat movement. Let's see. We've got, what do we want to do here? From Sierra Leone, 1 seaplane flies 1 to A48, 2 to A46, 3 to A44. We're gonna hunt some subs, and it goes on map. From the carrier, fighter, and tactical. This is in M2. From M2, 1 fighter, 1 tactical will join that sea zone. From Gibraltar, the medium bomber flies out on map there as well. So I got 4 aircraft, and we will have 4 destroyers. These 2 destroyers will come out. And 2 destroyers from M2 will come out. So I'll have 4 destroyers pairing. And then from A46, 2 coastal subs will come out. They can't fire, but they can be taken as casualties if the subs hit. So they're just basically soaking hits. All right, and then we've got in sea zone P22, that's Midway. There's a sub base at Midway, so it can move 4. It'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 to P34. I don't think that's on camera, but that's the volcano islands. And we'll try to convoy raid there. Those are the 2 combats. So let's go over here. Bruce lets me take over America, and I hunt subs right away. So let's see. A44. I think I've got that teed up perfectly. So one seaplane at 3. Nope, shoot. One fighter at 6. Okay, that's one hit. One tactical. This guy has a target select, so I have to roll him separate from the... It's a hit, but it's not a target select hit. And one medium bomber. Okay, three hits, and then I've got 4 destroyers at 4. Well, okay, I got 5 hits. I only needed 4. Let's do the subs in return. So there are 3 normal submarines at 3. Miss, and 1 advanced submarine at 4. Well, I didn't even have to take the coastal subs. Okay, so the British suck at hunting subs, but the Americans are very effective at hunting subs. Let's do the convoy raid. I think this is a +2 at the Volcano Island Sea Zone. Red is the attacker, I should have announced. So 2 points of damage to Japan. Mark that down. This is in Sea Zone P34. Japan goes to 60. Okay. Non-combat movement. Gotta move, gotta take some stuff. The 4 destroyers are gonna go in port in Gibraltar. I'll tidy that up later. OCD is killing me. Okay, land these guys, the fighters, on the carrier in M2. Land the seaplane. Where do I want to? I'm going to land the medium bomber on Gibraltar. Is that right, or should I put it at the airbase at northern Algeria? What would Bruce want me to do? I'm going to land it in northern Algeria, and then Bruce can yell at me if he doesn't like that. We have time to... Well, we probably won't have time knowing how fast Hambone takes his turns. Okay, the seaplane, I think, is going to land in Sierra Leone. Let's go back to Sierra Leone, because there's that Italian sub menacing. So many subs. Okay. Over in southern England. In southern England, well, let's first do in London, a fighter will fly to southern England. And then from southern England, the jet will fly to northern Algeria. So let's count that out. It's got a movement of 6. 1 to A21, 2 to A28, 3 to A35, 4 to A44, 5 to French Morocco, 6 to northern Algeria. Okay, and then here in Puerto Rico, will I be able to make that? Yeah, this guy will pick up 2 infantry from Puerto Rico, leave port to Sea Zone A41, and then go over to A44, drop off the 2 infantry in Puerto Rico into Gibraltar. And then from the transport, the naval transport that started there in Gibraltar, will strategic naval move to Washington, D.C. So there'll be one there that came from Puerto Rico, and there'll be one there that came from Gibraltar in Washington, D.C. Down here in northern Algeria, I think it's probably best if we leave port, Boss and Bruce. I don't think he's going to attack your naval transports if they're out of port. So we'll have those guys out to sea here. Oops. People were commenting on these Higgins boats, and I got them at alternateendinggames.com. No, it might be .org. Alternate ending something. Either .com or .org. And then look at their naval units. They don't have, I think they only have 14 naval units, but they have some really nice landing craft. I think these are the ones with the mounted guns. So I think they're really cool I use them for my attack transports. I have totally lost track. Okay, so we were gonna use the naval transports there. Got those 2 naval transports. Let's pick up from Gibraltar an infantry and a marine. Pick those guys up and drop them off in northern Algeria. So that'll get me to 1 infantry, 2 marines. Chip that out. Now the question is, should I leave Tunisia empty? I know that will drive Boss and Bruce bananas. He hates that. For sure, from French Morocco, 1 infantry will move into northern Algeria. So our 5 units, I'm going to build a militia here in northern Algeria. So will 6 units be enough to protect the factory that I'm building there? Let's see. From Rome, he doesn't have an air base. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he just doesn't have the range. Sorry to be deciding this on the fly. On the other hand, Boss and Bruce, he could just kill that infantry in Tunisia. He's got all the air. Oh, but we could scramble. But would we scramble? I mean, we could amoeba 1 more infantry over there. Now, those guys, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to amoeba. I'm going to have the guy that was in northern Algeria move to Tunisia. Normally, I'm a coward and I just run away, but I'm trying to think like how Boston would play it, and he does not like to give away territory. It's like it goes against his Boston nature. Oh, I didn't show what was going on. Yeah, no, it was on camera. Never mind. Okay, so I think that's enough. I think 4 units and a jet. He can bring 2 land units and 2 aircraft. I think we're good, Boss and Bruce. So, okay, that's that. That's all our movement there. Is there any other movement? Yes, over in the Pacific. So let's have these 2 coastal subs move to from Hawaii to P-37. Let's have the battleship in Hawaii go to Midway, plus the 2 battleships in San Francisco go to Midway. So that what that's going to do is on this task force marker at sea there in P-22 will be 6 battleships. And just chip that out with a red chip. That'll open some things up here. Give a little more space on this task force card than if I tried to keep all the battleships on there. Then I've got a naval transport here in San Francisco that could pick up this, sorry about this guys, pick up this advanced artillery and carry it out to Midway, and then have a normal transport there in Midway. Well, maybe he wants to have all his naval transports there. There are a lot of units to carry. I guess there's nothing back in San Francisco to get. Okay, so we'll have this guy go in port here in Midway. I thought I would do the swapperoo thing, but I'm just going to have him join. Let's try to make the Axis sweat a little bit after all the suffering they've made poor Commonwealth experience. Let's put a little pressure on them. Okay, and then while we're out here, why don't I just show you that I'm going to be placing the 2 battleships that were finished here in San Francisco, or they'll just be at sea. Got nothing to fear. Alrighty. Is there anything else? So sorry, I wasn't quite as prepared as I normally am. I think, looking around, I think I'm not missing anything. Bruce, the one question is, if you hate me for putting your medium bomber in northern Algeria, you give me a yell. But it's got an air base there, so I feel like it's a little more flexible for you. Okay, let's place units. So on the build queue, that I'm not showing you on camera, 5 stages of heavy battleship advance to stage 2, and the heavy carrier advances to stage 2. And then on the build queue, 1 heavy battleship gets laid down. So there's, on stage 3, there's 1 American heavy battleship and 2 Japanese heavy battleships. And at stage 2, there's a American heavy carrier, 5 American heavy battleships, 1 American heavy cruiser, 1 Japanese heavy battleship, 2 Japanese light carriers, and an air base that I talked Bruce into, and now I regret talking him into that. I'm so sorry, my friend. All right, let's place in, I think the only other things for us to, we got that minor factory in northern Algeria. Put a minor factory here. And a militia will go there. And then the only other thing is in Washington, D.C., I'm going to place an infantry and an advanced artillery. Okay, let's do disposition. Oh, collect income. America didn't go up any. They're at 64. They have 76 for next turn. KMT has 9 in the bank. USA, 76 in the bank. All right, disposition. I'm going to try to do a thorough job here since Bruce might be using this to catch up after he comes back. Let's see, in New York, 1 militia. In Washington, D.C., 1 militia, 1 infantry, 1 advanced artillery, 1 naval transport. In Panama, off camera, 1 militia. In A44, 2 coastal subs. In Gibraltar, for America, 4 destroyers, just going over, and 1 American naval transport. The British there have 3 battleships, 1 heavy cruiser, 2 torpedo boat destroyers, and a naval transport. In Gibraltar itself, there is 1 British militia, 1 British infantry, 1 British anti-aircraft artillery, and the 2 American infantry. I'm going to go put this on this task force card. In M2, there is an American carrier with a fighter and a bomber, or a tactile bomber, a battleship, heavy cruiser, light cruiser, 2 light cruisers, and a destroyer. There's also an American attack transport and a regular American transport there I wonder if I should put those into Gibraltar. Gibraltar seems to be more flexible than M2. Is there anything I'm missing where I have totally screwed this up? Let's see. Oh, I see. The Italians could fly 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I don't think. I think Gibraltar's safe. That's always gives me the heebie-jeebies, because Hambone loves to pin your naval units. He just loves it. But I think we're okay with the way it is here in Gibraltar. Okay, so I'm not changing it. Bruce, I'm gonna leave those 2 naval transports in M2. You yell at me if you want them in Gibraltar. Also, there's a British light carrier with a fighter and a Free French submarine there. In northern Algeria, there's a militia, an infantry, 2 marines, an advanced, or is that a normal? That's normal artillery, and a jet fighter and a medium bomber. In Tunisia, 2 infantry. Nothing here until we get over to M34. No, I'm sorry, P34. There's 1 submarine. P37, 2 coastal subs. In Atukisk, Atukiska, 1 militia. Oh, I'm going to move this destroyer to join Midway from P19. So in P22, the Midway Sea Zone, there is 1 fleet carrier with a fighter tactical, 1 normal fleet carrier with nothing on it, and then 6 battleships, 1 heavy cruiser, and 4 destroyers. In port in Midway, there's 1 attack transport and 3 regular naval transports. In Midway, there's 8 infantry, 1 marine, 1 light armor, 1 advanced artillery, 1 anti-aircraft artillery. I don't know if I said the 2 coastal subs are in P37. I think I did. And then San Francisco has the 2 battleships, and I think I went over the build queue pretty well. Next up is Hambone, once again, the speediest player in our group, with Germany 14.1.